This morning, best-selling crime writer and former New York City prosecutor Linda Fairstein finds herself on trial in the court of public opinion. Her most famous case, the Central Park jogger trial, is now being retold on Netflix.
I didn't see any lady. Kevin. I didn't see any lady.
When They See Us dramatizes the story of 5 Black and Latino teenagers known as the Central Park Five. The young men were wrongfully convicted and imprisoned for raping a white female jogger back in 1989. The story dividing a city. Decades before taking office, real estate developer Donald Trump spent $85,000 on ads in local papers, proclaiming, "Bring back the death penalty." Now, embattled actress Felicity Huffman is playing Fairstein, who oversaw the interrogation of the 5 teens and prosecution for the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Fairstein was part of the sex crimes unit, but did not personally try the case.
Our case is they're all guilty.
You tell us exactly what happened.
The men later accused detectives of coercing confessions from them, which Fairstein has launched. A painful chapter in New York City's history. 5 young men wrongfully imprisoned for raping a jogger in Central Park. Retold on Netflix.
I didn't see a lady or hit anyone.
The miniseries triggering new backlash against one of the prosecutors behind the 1989 convictions, Linda Fairstein, calls for boycotts of her crime novels, a petition getting more than 50,000 signatures. Fairstein's Twitter account deleted as anger boiled over with the trending hashtag Cancel Linda Fairstein. Lester asked the men known as the Central Park Five specifically about the former sex crimes prosecutor and her team.
Linda Fairstein and others who were involved in the prosecution, they haven't retreated a step.
At all. No apology. All the time we did for something we didn't do, and it hurts.
They still think that we're guilty. So how do we hear when we're constantly in a state of defending ourselves?
When a serial rapist admitted to the crime in 2002 and his DNA was a match, the 5 men had their convictions vacated. They accused detectives of coercing confessions from them. To this day, Fairstein defends the prosecution's conduct and the decision to pursue the case, now calling the Netflix miniseries grossly and maliciously inaccurate, misrepresenting the facts in an inflammatory and inaccurate manner. While one of the men wrongfully convicted had this to say to TMZ.
Even though it's 30 years later, she has to pay for her crime.
They made us lie.
The anger over what they lived through, never far from the surface, now tapped into once again. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, New York. Rapist admitted to the crime in 2002 and his DNA was a match. The 5 men had their convictions vacated after serving more than a decade behind bars. Lester recently sat down with the exonerated men.
But I kept telling the truth for a long time. I started lying because of my father. Truth for a long time. I started lying because of my father. He told me to tell them what they want to hear. We didn't get an apology. You know, all the time we did, do it, and it hurt.